2026 is shaping up to be one of the biggest years for motorcycles in decades. Every major brand has something new rolling out, each claiming to raise the bar. But real riders know better than to trust headlines. Some of these machines bring genuine innovation. Others trade heritage for hype. So tonight we're breaking down the best new motorcycle releases from each brand in 2026. The bikes worth your respect, the ones to watch, and the ones that prove the soul of riding isn't dead yet. Number 7. Ducati Diavel V4. For steel, speed, and status collide, the cruiser finally finds rebellion refined. The Diavel V4 does exactly that. It stands as a statement of dominance, merging the torque-rich heart of a cruiser with the soul of a superbike. Built for those who believe performance should feel effortless, it blends raw masculinity with undeniable refinement. This machine is not meant for beginners or budget chasers. It is meant for riders who have earned their miles, who ride for identity as much as for thrill, and who expect their motorcycle to look as powerful as it feels. The V4 stands apart because it redefines what a cruiser can be. Where most bikes in its category settle into predictability, this one refuses to blend in. Its engine pulses with controlled fury, its stance broad and confident, its handling sharp, yet grounded. Riders who have spent decades behind bars know the feeling, the moment when the throttle opens and everything else fades. That feeling lives inside this machine. It speaks to a generation of men who grew up on steel and torque, who still find solace in the low growl of combustion, and who believe that a motorcycle should move both body and soul. Beyond the raw data lies the real impact, the pride of ownership. The Diavel V4 isn't a purchase, it's a declaration. It represents power without apology and craftsmanship without compromise. Every detail, from its sculpted tank to its muscular rear profile, is built to demand respect, even at a standstill. It appeals to riders who care less about chasing trends and more about leaving an impression. The kind who park their bike and walk away slowly, knowing heads will turn. For riders used to long stretches of open road, the ergonomics remain surprisingly forgiving. The forward foot controls and wide bars encourage that relaxed, commanding posture that says everything without words. The ride delivers torque instantly, pulling hard and clean, yet the electronics work quietly beneath the surface, refined, never intrusive. This balance between old-school grunt and new-school engineering is what makes it feel timeless. Beneath its sculpted frame beats 168 horsepower from a 1,158 cubic centimeter engine, pushing 93 pound-feet of torque through Brembo precision brakes, advanced adjustable suspension, 505 pounds of confidence, a 30.3-inch stance, and a commanding $30,000 price tag. For those who refuse to choose between comfort and aggression, the V4 proves you can have both. It's not about chasing youth, it's about owning mastery. It's the kind of bike that makes you remember why you fell in love with riding in the first place. Power may come in many shapes, yet the next legend proves that precision can command as much respect as sheer muscle. Number 6. BMW R1300R. Precision rides in silence. German muscle meets discipline and enduring pride. The R1300R steps forward as that benchmark for modern roadsters. It blends decades of engineering mastery with an honesty that appeals to riders who measure value not in marketing talk but in miles and mechanical feel. This machine is built for the man who respects discipline, who has owned enough motorcycles to know that reliability is not negotiable, and who understands that refinement is a quiet kind of strength. The R1300R appeals to riders who have outgrown chasing trends. It is not about pretending to be a sport bike, nor is it trying to play cruiser. It sits proudly in the middle, confident, muscular, and elegant in motion. Twist the throttle and it rewards you with a surge that feels smooth yet authoritative. The boxer engine remains the heart of its character, producing that steady rhythm older riders recognize immediately. A deep, balanced pulse that signals both performance and permanence. When you ride this machine, it feels like returning to the discipline that built motorcycling in the first place. It is less about flash and more about form. The geometry holds you upright, the ergonomics give comfort without dulling control, and the torque ensures you can overtake with ease. Every mechanical note feels tuned for riders who understand what real power delivery means. You can hear confidence in the idle, feel balance in the frame, and trust that every piece of this machine was built to endure more than it will ever be asked to. There is also pride in its simplicity. No exaggerated styling, no unnecessary excess, just the essentials done to perfection. The paintwork carries a subtle metallic sheen rather than a glare. The tank lines are sculpted for strength, not vanity. It is the kind of motorcycle that earns respect quietly, the way a seasoned craftsman commands a room without raising his voice. For older riders who have seen fads come and go, this restraint feels refreshing. It is power without pretense, beauty without arrogance, and confidence without showmanship. Powering its clean silhouette, 145 horses surge from a 1,300 cubic centimeter heart, releasing 110 pound-feet of torque through radial brakes, refined paralever suspension, 527 pounds of composure, a 30.9-inch seat, and a poised $16,500 valuation. The R1300R speaks directly to men who appreciate legacy but demand relevance. It acknowledges heritage without living in it. It understands that real performance is measured not by how fast you get somewhere, but by how deeply you enjoy the ride along the way. The road favors balance, but the next contender proves that refinement can carry more attitude than aggression ever could. If you're enjoying this countdown so far, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Tell us which upcoming release already has your attention and why it matters. Number 5. Suzuki GSX-8T Quiet Strength returns, built for riders who outgrew reckless horsepower years. The GSX-8T captures that moment perfectly. It represents maturity without surrender, power that's right-sized, comfort that's hard-earned, and engineering that feels built for riders who've already proven themselves. There's no need to shout when the ride speaks for itself. This motorcycle doesn't try to be a superbike or a cruiser. It stands proudly in between, giving seasoned riders everything they need without demanding more than necessary. It's a machine designed for those who know what they like and refuse to chase trends just to keep up. The 8T is the kind of motorcycle that earns your respect over time. It's not a toy for weekend show-offs. It's a loyal partner for those who still ride to clear their mind and reconnect with the road. The torque hits smooth and predictable, the power curve feels broad and forgiving, and the ergonomics deliver upright confidence rather than fatigue. On long highway stretches, it hums steadily, asking nothing more than a relaxed grip on the bars. In the corners, it feels planted, not twitchy. It reminds experienced riders of what motorcycles used to be, machines that existed to serve the rider, not overwhelm him. There's a quiet honesty about the 8T that resonates deeply with men who have been around engines long enough to know that refinement beats raw noise every time. The exhaust note carries warmth rather than scream. The throttle response feels intuitive, and the build quality shows Suzuki's heritage of making reliable, hard-working motorcycles. It's a bike that's meant to last, not just impress for a single season. In that sense, it mirrors the riders it's built for. Seasoned, self-assured, and still ready to roll. What stands out most is its practicality wrapped in dignity. You can ride it to work all week and still look forward to the Saturday escape without swapping bikes. Its frame carries strength, yet its manners remain civilized. Every line on the body feels deliberate, sleek without vanity, athletic without aggression. It's a design that understands confidence doesn't require flash. At its core, 82 horses ignite a 776 cubic centimeter twin engine, generating 57 pound-feet of torque with dual-disc braking, balanced suspension tuning, 443 pounds of purpose, AE, 32-inch seat height, and an attainable $10,649 foundation for everyday strength and satisfaction combined. For the rider who values dependability as much as style, the 8T delivers both. It doesn't chase high numbers or claim to reinvent the wheel, it just perfects what works. It's built for the man who's done proving himself to anyone else, the kind of rider who rolls out at sunrise simply because the world feels better from the saddle. From quiet strength to daring spirit, the following machine redefines adventure for riders who still chase their own horizon. If these new releases have you thinking about your own setup, take a look in the description. Every piece of gear and every accessory we recommend is linked right there. Number 4. Aprilia Tuareg 457. Freedom still calls. The trail favors grit, not glamour or gadgets. The Tuareg 457 reminds riders that chasing the horizon never gets old, it just gets wiser. Built for riders who value the journey more than the destination, this motorcycle is not about reckless speed or luxury. It is about freedom. The kind of freedom that comes from knowing your machine will carry you through dust, gravel, and winding back roads without hesitation. For riders who have lived long enough to appreciate the solitude of an open trail, the Tuareg stands as a companion, not a challenge. It is rugged, reliable, and refined enough to earn the respect of seasoned travelers. The 457 stands for something simple but powerful: versatility. It feels light enough to maneuver through the woods, yet solid enough to hold its ground on long stretches of highway. It hums instead of roars, signaling maturity rather than rebellion. For older riders, that kind of quiet confidence matters. Every twist of the throttle feels measured, every gear shift deliberate. The engine's smooth pull brings back memories of simpler times, when every ride was about the escape, not the attention. Comfort plays a big part in its charm. The seat cushions long hours with support instead of softness, the windscreen gives just enough protection, and the upright riding position keeps the body relaxed even after a full day's run. The bars are wide but not exaggerated, giving total control without fatigue. It's the kind of ergonomics that feels like it was designed by someone who has actually ridden through the night. The beauty of the 457 lies not in its polish, but in its honesty. It wears its purpose openly. No flashy lines, no unnecessary chrome, just form that follows function. It feels like a bike built for real riders, not showroom browsers. That honesty is what connects it to men who have spent decades behind the bars of machines that taught them patience, strength, and respect for the ride. It produces 47 horsepower from a 457 cubic centimeter twin engine and generates 43 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes dual front discs paired with a single rear disc, all guided by an advanced anti-lock braking system. The suspension setup features a long travel inverted front fork and a fully adjustable rear monoshock designed to handle unpredictable terrain. The wet weight comes in around 420 pounds and the seat height measures 34.6 inches. The starting price begins near $10,000. These numbers reveal a motorcycle that delivers balance rather than brute force. A thoughtful combination of endurance and comfort meant for the rider who still seeks his own road. Every ride on the 457 feels like a conversation with the road. The suspension absorbs the chatter, the engine speaks with steady rhythm, and the frame listens without complaint. It is a reminder that adventure does not belong to the young, it belongs to the restless. And for those still restless enough to go beyond the map, this Aprilia stands ready. Every journey leaves a mark, and the next creation blends innovation with endurance in a way only true craftsmen understand. Before we move into the final bikes on this list, make sure you're subscribed because every new release we cover could be the one that redefines your next ride. Number 3. Honda V3 Turbo Platform. Bike innovation breathes fire. Technology and torque merge for tomorrow's seasoned rider. The V3 Turbo Platform bike proves that progress and power can share the same road. It represents a bridge between the golden age of combustion and the electrified future looming ahead. For riders who have spent a lifetime with engines that breathe fire and shake the ground, this machine offers something revolutionary yet familiar. It keeps the growl, the pull, and the personality. Only this time it brings intelligence to the mix. This is not about leaving the past behind, it is about honoring it through evolution. designed for riders who refuse to retire their passion simply because the industry moves forward. The V3 carries itself differently from typical sport or touring machines. It's refined but not fragile, bold without arrogance. The turbo assistance gives it a deeper character, a feeling of smooth, controlled aggression that older riders can appreciate. When the boost kicks in, it doesn't scream. It surges. The power curve builds confidence, not chaos. Every throttle roll reminds you that Honda hasn't forgotten what torque should feel like. It simply learned how to make it more efficient. What makes the V3 special is the way it blends mechanical strength with precision technology. For decades, Honda has been known for dependability, for bikes that start every time and never quit. This platform carries that same legacy forward, only now with a powertrain that challenges everything the modern motorcycle can be. The turbocharger breathes life into a design built for long hauls and quick bursts alike, making it just as comfortable climbing mountain roads as it is cruising the highway at dusk. Beyond the specs, the emotional impact of this machine speaks directly to the veteran rider. It's built for those who appreciate machinery that works hard but carries itself with quiet confidence. The smooth hum at idle, the subtle mechanical whine of the turbo, and the deep exhaust note together create a soundtrack of strength tempered by experience. It's the sound of evolution rather than rebellion. It produces an estimated 150 horsepower from a newly engineered V3 configuration, displacing around 1,000 cubic centimeters using a unique eco-compressor system that delivers turbo-assisted power. Torque figures have not been finalized but are expected to sit comfortably in the high 70s in pound-feet, ensuring instant pull even at mid-range speeds. The braking system combines twin front discs and a single rear disc, guided by a modern anti-lock braking system for precision control. The suspension setup includes a fully adjustable inverted front fork and a single-sided rear monoshock tuned for both highway stability and city comfort. The expected wet weight is around 500 pounds with a seat height near 31 inches. The projected starting price will likely sit around $18,000, positioning it firmly among high-performance road legends. For older riders who have watched the industry evolve from carburetors to computers, this bike feels like a personal nod, a way of saying, "We haven't forgotten you." The V3 doesn't just represent technology, it represents transition. It stands for riders who demand innovation but still crave the soul of a real engine. It offers reassurance that even in a changing world, power, pride, and precision can still ride side by side. Legacy demands evolution, and the motorcycle waiting ahead brings heritage roaring back through modern engineering and unmistakable soul. Number 2. Royal Enfield 750 Twin Series. Heritage rides again, crafted for men who respect metal's memory. The 750 Twin Series honors that legacy by reminding riders that strength does not always need flash. It brings back the raw feeling of metal and motion that used to define motorcycling before technology tried to perfect it. For men who remember wrenching in the garage, polishing chrome by hand, and riding for the sake of freedom, this motorcycle feels like coming home. It is straightforward, timeless, and deliberate in every line of its design. Nothing feels artificial. Every sound and every vibration remind you that you are connected to something real. The Twin's charm lies in its honesty. Twist the throttle, and it answers with a deep, confident growl rather than a scream. It's a sound that speaks of balance, not excess. It reminds you that torque should feel like muscle, not mathematics. The power band is smooth and predictable, delivering pull through every gear, with the kind of consistency that lets a rider settle into rhythm instead of chasing revs. Every mile feels earned. Every downshift feels deliberate. This is the motorcycle equivalent of a firm handshake, steady, dependable, and full of character. The design philosophy stays loyal to Royal Enfield's roots. The tank carries classic curves, the stance remains upright and commanding, and the finish has just the right mix of polish and grit. It is the sort of motorcycle you want to park where people can see it, not for validation but because it deserves appreciation. It recalls a time when craftsmanship mattered more than complexity, when riders cared about the feel of the clutch lever and the smell of warm oil after a long ride. Older riders will appreciate that the 750 understands their priorities. Comfort comes first, with relaxed ergonomics and a seat wide enough for long-distance runs without strain. Maintenance is simple, the mechanics are straightforward, and the engine carries a reputation for reliability. There's no pretense here, just an honest motorcycle built to remind riders what riding used to mean. It produces 55 horsepower from a 750 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine and delivers 65 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes dual front discs and a single rear disc controlled by a modern anti-lock braking system. The suspension setup uses a conventional telescopic front fork and twin coilover rear shocks built for strength rather than show. The wet weight comes in near 500 pounds, the seat height measures 31 inches, and the starting price lands around $10,500. These numbers reflect a perfect middle ground. Enough power for open roads, enough weight for highway stability, and a price that makes it an attainable classic for riders who still value the feel of a real machine. The 750 brings together everything that defines enduring motorcycling: torque that comes on early, a weight that feels solid under you, and a sound that feels alive. It doesn't try to compete with the latest digital experiment or aerodynamic fantasy. It just offers what matters: control, comfort, and connection. It is proof that not every new motorcycle needs to forget its roots to stay relevant. For riders who want something familiar but fresh, grounded but capable, the 750 is more than a model. It's a philosophy. Tradition carries weight, yet the final machine turns that weight into thunder, carving its name in the asphalt of legend. Number 1. Kawasaki Z1000 Dominance Reborn, where thunder, control, and pure road power unite. Others earn it because they refuse to bow to time. The Z1000 stands in that second category, a machine that defines longevity through raw performance and presence. It carries the soul of the road inside every rev, built for riders who believe a motorcycle should never whisper when it can roar. This isn't a bike made to please everyone. It's a bike made to remind riders of who they are, those who grew up surrounded by chrome, gasoline, and the thunder of inline fours tearing down the highway. The Z1000 returns in 2026 to honor that heritage, combining traditional muscle with refined control in a way that only Kawasaki can. The 1000 is not for the faint of heart, and it doesn't pretend to be. It's built for riders who still believe torque is a conversation between man and machine, not an algorithm. Roll on the throttle, and the response is immediate, deep, and confident. There's no artificial delay, no unnecessary filtering, just pure mechanical honesty. The exhaust note carries that signature Kawasaki tone, low at idle, fierce in motion, and commanding at full draw. It's not loud for the sake of volume, it's loud because it has something to say. For older riders, the appeal of the 1000 goes beyond horsepower or numbers on a spec sheet. It's about identity. It's about being part of an era that still values strength and simplicity. The ride posture is forward but comfortable, the tank sculpted to hold you in place when you dig into a curve. Every part of the bike feels like it was designed by someone who rides, not someone chasing trends. It honors your experience by giving you the control and confidence you've earned over decades of riding. The craftsmanship is pure Kawasaki, muscular, minimalist, and unapologetically focused on performance. The frame lines speak to precision, while the matte and metallic finishes carry a maturity that matches its riders. It's not flashy, yet it commands presence wherever it parks. It carries weight not just in metal, but in meaning. The 1000 is more than a motorcycle. It's a reminder that evolution doesn't mean surrendering what made you powerful in the first place. It produces 143 horsepower from a 1,043 cubic centimeter inline four-cylinder engine and delivers 82 pound-feet of torque. The braking system includes twin front discs paired with a single rear disc, all managed by a full anti-lock braking system tuned for precise control. The suspension setup features high-spec inverted front forks with full adjustability and a horizontal rear monoshock designed for stability during aggressive cornering. The wet weight measures around 480 pounds and the seat height stands at 32.3 inches. The starting price is expected to be in the low teens of thousands of dollars, depending on trim level. Each figure defines a balance between aggression and discipline, a harmony that separates real performance bikes from those that just chase attention. For riders who have spent their lives chasing torque, freedom, and the endless hum of an open road, this machine feels like a tribute. It honors the past without being trapped by it and proves that pure riding spirit never fades. It just gets sharper with time. The Z1000 isn't about keeping up with modernity, it's about staying ahead of mediocrity. It exists for the men who still ride because they love it, not because they have to. So there you have it, the best new motorcycles every major brand is bringing to the table in 2026. Some honor the past, others gamble on the future, and a few just might surprise us all. But at the end of the day, the real question stays the same. Which one would you actually ride cross-country? Drop your thoughts below. Tell us what caught your eye and what missed the mark. If this breakdown hit home, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more straight talk made for riders, not marketing. See you on the next one.